Fiery Squirrel Art! My name is Brian, and today I'm going to show you how I used Tinkercad.com and the badly named Procreate app to make this drawing by tracing some of the 3D objects I rendered into a 2D drawing, which I've never tried before. I hope you guys enjoy it. Here we go. So one of the things that I love to draw as an artist are a bunch of silly machines. Populated oftentimes by these idiots called toad sprites who really don't know what they're doing. Some of these drawings are done by hand, pen and ink, some are vector art, digital, and some are a combination of the two. Some of them have gotten pretty ridiculous sometimes. But this drawing that I was going to do, I knew I would need the same object drawn slightly differently several times and from slightly different angles. So I decided that I was going to render this object, this battle wheel, in 3D so that I could just trace over it and save myself a lot of time. The 3D program I used is Tinkercad. It is free. It is a web-based 3D modeling program. Go to Tinkercad.com, set up a new account, and it's pretty easy. It's so easy, even I can do it. It's basically just a bunch of Boolean operations, adding and subtracting. Don't be afraid of that term. All it means is you're putting shapes together and subtracting them from each other also to kind of get whatever you want. But it's got this library of lots of shapes and forms that you can put together, you can take apart, you can subtract from each other and change and customize. A lot of customization. And basically, you can pretty much get anything you want. It's just a matter of how much time and effort you want to put into it. For a machine like this silly battle wheel, this is ideal because I didn't really need texture and detail. I just needed the basic shapes to get the general idea. So this was kind of the beginning of what I went through to get the battle wheel idea. Just simple shapes, started to assemble together. I'll be honest, it was several hours for me to arrive at this. I was concentrating on what I was doing, but also, for me, I love finding my zen using this program. It's a lot of fun for me. And so it didn't really seem like a chore. And once I had this 3D model, I could rotate it to any view I wanted, any angle, any perspective, and then all I had to do then was bust out the snipping tool and get a screenshot. Just save several different screenshot JPEGs from several different angles and decide which one suited me best. So I looked through several for the main image. I liked this one, I liked that one also. Considered both of them, but this is the one I ended up with. Okay, so that was the 3D modeling program. Now the 2D drawing app that I used to trace over those 3D models is called Procreate. Yeah, it's a terrible name, but it's an excellent app. The bad news is it works really well on an iPad with an Apple Pencil, and both those things are pretty expensive. The app itself, good news, is $10. $10, and it is absolutely worth every penny of that, and more besides. It is pretty easy to use. The line work that you can achieve in here is just amazing. It's very helpful. See, this is the world's sloppiest circle right here, but Procreate helps me get exactly the shape I want every time. So once I dropped the screen capture into Procreate, I just started tracing with this black ink pen tool. There are a million different brushes you can use in Procreate. You can import your own and customize, but I usually keep it pretty simple. So again, this step in Procreate also took several hours, but this is where I could add the texture, the detail, the color, of course, that I wanted. It all changed when I got to this step from the original 3D simple model. But it was so much easier to keep drawing the same object over and over from different angles, because all I had to do was rotate to a new angle in Tinkercad, take a screenshot, and drop it into Procreate. And not only did that save me time, but it kept all these different views of the battle wheel consistent from one to the other. I didn't have to worry about perspective or regulating size or the right angle. I got it exactly the way I wanted it when I dropped in the screenshots. All I had to do after that was customize it. And after a few more hours, I was pretty happy with it. If you're used to using tons of layers like in Photoshop, there is one drawback of Procreate. It limits the number of layers that you can use, especially when you're using a large format. There are workarounds for that. Anyway, overall, one of the most effective digital art apps I've ever used. Well, I think that's about it. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it and learned something you didn't know before. Leave me a message in the comments. Feedback is welcome. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.